Earlier today, Minnesota lawmakers were targeted in what is being called by authorities targeted political violence. A manhunt is now underway for the gunman who was impersonating a police officer. Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Hortman was killed. State Senator John Hoffman was wounded in this targeted political violence. A Minnesota state representative and her husband were shot and killed, and a state senator and his wife were shot and wounded in an act of targeted political violence at their homes on Saturday, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said. And because of that, the No Kings event in Northeast Minneapolis had been canceled due to a shelter-in-place order following this politically motivated shooting of two elected officials. They're Democrats, by the way, and apparently the manifesto. The shooter had a cop car, like a fake cop car, was dressed up like a fake cop, and I don't know. It's a very suspicious. It's a very suspicious situation. Obviously, a horrible political violent act. But State Representative Melissa Hortman, a Democrat, and her husband were shot. Hortman, formerly the Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives, was a formidable public servant, the governor said of his friend. She is irreplaceable. State Senator John Hoffman, a Democrat, and his wife were both shot multiple times and underwent surgery. We're cautiously optimistic they will survive this assassination attempt, Walz said. The two shooting locations are a few miles away from each other in Champlin and Brooklyn Park, just north of Minneapolis. Hortman and his wife were shot around 2 a.m. in Champlin. Superintendent of the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, Drew Evans, said. After Hoffman was shot, officers were heading to proactively check on Hortman when they encountered the suspect at Hortman's home at around 3:35 a.m., Evans said. The officers found a person who was dressed as a police officer wearing a vest and a badge with a taser and other equipment at the door coming out of Hortman's house. The suspect fired at the officers. Gunshots were exchanged, and the suspect was able to escape and flee on foot. The suspect's vehicle, which looked like a police vehicle, including police lights, was in Hortman's driveway. This is why I'm saying it's like incredibly suspicious. Was this an off-duty cop? Was this actually a cop? Was this like, how does he have so much police gear? Obviously, you can buy a lot of police gear, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. How was he able to escape? It's just like shocking events unfolding in Minnesota amidst this nationwide protest movement that's also astroturfed. So everything is messed up, and I'm here to obviously parse through it all for you and try to explain all of it to you, regardless of all the chaos, as always, as is my job. He apparently had a list. The shooter apparently had a list of possible targets that were retrieved from the suspect's vehicle. The list named Hortman and Hoffman. The list also included dozens of other Democrats from Minnesota, including Governor Walz, Representative Ilhan Omar, Tina Smith, and Attorney General Keith Ellison, according to law enforcement sources familiar with the matter. Law enforcement officials are looking into whether the suspect may have been motivated by extreme views on abortion, the sources said. Security resources have been dispatched to protect those people named on the list. The Capitol Police has said it's working with our federal, state, and local partners. President Donald Trump has been briefed on the shooting and said such horrific violence will not be tolerated. This is what people are claiming as a suspect. Not entirely certain, unless there is like already an official, an official extreme views like the right to have one. What? No. Why would... Yeah, dude. Famously, people who want to give women the right to have bodily autonomy are always gadded up, murdering fucking Democratic congresspersons. Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, yeah, we don't know who the suspect is yet. That's like what people, there's a lot of misinformation flying around. Obviously, in normal circumstances, we don't cover breaking news like this. But the reason why I'm bringing this up and giving you what the actual information that is like readily available in the media is because there is obviously a motive developing from the clues that the police have actually revealed about this person. There's obviously some suspicious aspects of this already, but as is the case with all breaking news online, one of the primary functions that I serve here is to look through all of the misinformation that is being disseminated by politically motivated actors that have no interest in telling you the truth whatsoever and have every interest in turning into this turning this into a political football. And the reason why I'm covering this right now is because like there's information out there where people are saying, oh, he had a No Kings flyer in his car. There's been no real information about this as far as I know from mainstream resources. People are claiming that he was a left-wing extremist, for example. Again, doesn't make sense when compared to who his targets were. Why would a fucking left-wing extremist try to kill Ilhan Omar, for example? That is the information. Thank you for the 50 gifted. Bye, Rise. Yeah, it's just the notion that like this is a left-wing extremist doesn't make a lot of sense, because it doesn't make a lot of sense because like Ilhan Omar would not be a target, you know? CNN posted the flyers. Yeah, if you go to the official Twitter feed about this, and the top post of right-wing lunatic suggesting this guy was a liberal assassin hired to execute a state rep for an uncontroversial vote, and that Mel knew she was in danger based on a TV interview she gave yesterday. People have fucking lost their minds. Given the targeted shootings of state lawmakers overnight, we are asking the public to not attend today's planned demonstrations across Minnesota at an abundance of caution. The photo is of flyers inside the vehicle. This is not flyers. These aren't flyers. Like, this is, again, it adds to the fucking fakeness. It adds to the suspiciousness, okay? Do you understand? Like, every part of this is so nutty. Anyway. Motherfucker drew that on paper and called it a day. Yeah. The list included U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar and U.S. Senator Tina Smith. Governor Tim Walz was on the list. In addition to Attorney General Keith Ellison, dozens of other Democrats from Minnesota were also included suspects on the list. This is what the law enforcement information revealed. So the idea that this guy is like a fucking left-wing lunatic who also simultaneously wanted to go to the No Kings protest and wanted to participate in the No Kings protest and was like anti-Trump, but also anti-Ilhan Omar is fucking psychotic. Okay? Ilhan Omar is the most left-wing congressperson in the country. Like, literally, she is the most left-wing congressperson in the country. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, Attorney General Pam Bondi said she's closely monitoring the situation. House Speaker Mike Johnson also condemned the violence, said every leader must unequivocally condemn it. Democratic National Committee Chair Ken Martin, formerly the Minnesota Democratic Party Chair, said he's friends with both Hoffman and Hortman. Speaker Hortman was a leader in every sense of the word, from ushering in free lunch for our kids, protecting women's rights and reproductive care, to standing up for Minnesota families, Martin said in a statement. Melissa was also a close friend whom I've known since the very start of her political career. She was someone I personally relied on for advice, counsel, and friendship. I am beyond words. As I said many times when I introduced her at events, she is the very best Speaker of the House that Minnesota has ever had. This senseless violence must end. These heinous murders are a reflection of the extremism and political violence that have been fomented in our country. Martin said, today we recommit ourselves to fight harder for the values that Melissa and Mark embodied, building a kinder, more just, and loving world. If this murderer thinks we will be silenced, he is wrong. With the manhunt ongoing, police are urging community members to be cautious. Brooklyn Park is under a shelter-in-place order. Police warned if an officer comes to your door, call 911 to confirm that the officer is supposed to be there. Police are asking that no one open their door to a lone police officer, the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office said. Licensed officers are working in pairs. Walz warned, out of an abundance of caution, Minnesota should not attend any political rallies until the suspect is caught. So this is the last update from this situation. That's why the No Kings event in Northeast Minneapolis had been canceled. And I guess it's partially because, given the targeted shootings of the state lawmakers overnight, we're asking the public not to attend today's planned demonstrations across Minnesota out of an abundance of caution, said the official Twitter account for the Minnesota State Patrol. But this seems so stupid. You know what I mean? Like this, like the fact that he had this in the car, I don't know what his plan was. Maybe he wanted to like do a mass shooting at the protest or something. Local news has a suspect breaking KSTP. Okay. Sources tell Associated Press 57-year-old Vance Belter is sought in connection with the targeted attacks on House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and Senator John Hoffman and their spouses. So this is now there is confirmation of the director of security patrols for the Praetorian Guard security services. No wonder how he had police level gear. He might have had, this is if he is a residential armed home security licensed by the state of Minnesota. I suspect that is the reason why he had a cop car and was dressed in cop gear. These guys oftentimes will hire cops, off-duty cops, or even or even are cops themselves. So that makes a lot more sense now. All of a sudden, things are falling into place. But yeah, they also like the LARP as well. Here's the AP article. Officials tell AP they are searching for a 57-year-old man in shooting two Minnesota lawmakers. All right, go after it. Now this is where we unleash Chat CIA, and you guys can send me all information that you have about this. Dude, I really need you to talk to me a bit. Please read what I said. Please read what I said. Dude, I'm watching the stream from Tehran, bro. I'm watching the stream from Tehran. Do you have any advice? Bro, I swear to God, Hasan Abi heads are fucking universal, dude. Hasan Abi heads are universal. Motherfucker could be in Iran and will still be like, bro, you have to read what I am saying. What advice can I give you, big dog? Like, be safe, you know? What fucking advice can I give you? Like, what do you think I can do for you in this circumstance? Let me call up Tel Aviv real quick. Like, what do you mean? I wish I could do more. I wish I could protect you. I'm not lying, I swear. Bro, I believe you. There's hella fucking chatters from Iran that tune in. I know. Brother, I know. You are not the only one in here. Stop saying check logs. What? Oh, it's already been deleted. Whatever this was. Stock on essential pack and emergency bag with your papers is the advice. I don't even know how that would work. All right, so this is the guy, or this is the suspect for the time being. Dr. Vance Belter has been involved in security situations in Eastern Europe, Africa, North America, and Middle East, including the West Bank, Southern Lebanon, and Gaza Strip. He brings a great security aspect forged by both many on-the-ground experiences combined with training by both private security firms and by people in the U.S. military. He's worked for the largest U.S. oil refining company, the world's largest food company based in Switzerland, and the world's largest convenience retailer based in Japan. Vance has focused all his experience to make sure Praetorian Guard Security Services covers the... Dude, what the fuck? Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it a $150. This is very, very, very strange. Okay? The background of this dude is so Fed-coded. Okay? Like, obviously, in the United States of America, when a fucking act of political violence or any kind of violence takes place, my immediate inclination is not like, what is going on here? This is federal. This seems federal. I would never say that because violence is a part of the core identity of Americans. Gun violence, in particular, assassinations, and even political violence, oftentimes is a thing that obviously happens almost indiscriminately sometimes. Ironic, because I'm saying political violence, which is targeted, obviously. Even then, you can have like the guy who shot Trump, for example, the guy who shot Trump in the ear, like his background makes no fucking sense. But this is a truly, I never saw her say shit about Palestine, so fuck her. Okay, that's a ban. Thank you for that. 10-month subscriber. Have a good one. That's the most psychotic thing to say in this situation. Wow, that's cool. Anyway, apparently, yeah, he had a company in Congo, but like it's not showing anymore. Like I heard that in the chat as well. He has a LinkedIn. Apparently, he used to be a manager of 7-Eleven not that long ago. What? This is probably not his LinkedIn, chatter. What are you talking about? This doesn't show the director of security patrols at all. Got interviewed by Telemundo and ATL. Might get some airtime with the merch. Hell yeah. Here's that bio that got nuked. Screenshot it. Thank you. Dr. Vance Belter, EDD, CEO of Red Line Group. Oh, okay. Maybe you're right. Maybe this LinkedIn is correct then. Dr. Vance Belter, EDD, is the CEO of Red Line Group based in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's also the CEO of the Praetorian Guard Security Services based in Minnesota. Not sure why his LinkedIn doesn't reflect the Praetorian Guard group. His LinkedIn doesn't have it. But, I mean, this dude is a merc. Dr. Belter majored in international relations for his undergraduate degree at St. Cloud State University, Minnesota. He holds his master's of science and management degree and doctorate in leadership for the advancement of learning and service from Cardinal Stritch University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Dr. Belter, is he a Boer? Is he like fucking initially South African or something? What is this fucking last name? Dr. Belter has worked full-time for some of the largest companies in their field, such as Nestle, Del Monte, Tesoro, Marathon Speedway. Like, for the record, for those of you who don't know, okay? For those of you who don't know, this type of security contracting is basically Pinkerton shit. So when someone says like, oh, this guy works for Nestle, okay? When someone says like, oh, this guy's worked with a lot of, high profile clients, like this is, when he says Nestle and he's in Africa, he's like, I don't know, securing the mines or maybe even in certain circumstances, like engaging in political instability at the behest of a company that is beneficial for whichever company he's working for. Okay. This is not like, this is the background and profile of a mercenary through and through. The link is still working. Oh, now it's working. It wasn't, it was hitting me with a 404 before. Minnesota Africans United. Nestle, Del Monte, Tesoro, Marathon Speedway, 7-Eleven. He's worked in operations, technical services, quality services, continuous improvement. Dr. Belter's experience in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, Africa. He currently lives in Minnesota with his wife, Jenny, and their children. Like, there's something very suspicious about his background. I am losing my mind on right-wingers online. The whole Twitter sphere and right-wing podcast groups are trying to sweep this mercenary history under the rug, force deletions of his history, and are pushing that he's a lefty because Waltz appointed him to a business council 6 years ago. That's the talking point, so you know. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I mean, this is very Fed-coded. But also, given the profile and also given the targets that he went after, anyone trying to say this is like a fucking extreme leftist is a fucking insane person. I don't know what else to say about it beyond the fact that he wanted to assassinate the fucking governor. Like, New York Post is running with, well, the governor, Tim Walz. He's in this article from 2018 as a rep from the Marathon, the oil company. Congolese ambassador welcomed in Worthington. Vance Belter, representing the oil refinery and convenience store chain Marathon Petroleum Corp., suggested approximately 20 businesses in the state team up and train Congolese workers in a variety of occupations. Then, after 7 years, for example, those citizens could return to the DRC and use their experience to launch prosperous businesses in their home nation. This is info including his likes online. Breaking: Vance Luther Belter has been reported to be a suspect in the murder of Minnesota politicians. There's disinformation about his political leanings. He is not far left. Don't let them seize this narrative. Not today. I mean, dude, just show this, bro. Just show this fucking photo. That's it. That's all you need to know about this motherfucker's political associations, okay? Look at the high and tight. This is the most cop haircut you could ever arrive at. Like, what are we talking about? He was dressed as a cop. He has police gear. He owns and runs a fucking private security contracting group called the Praetorian Guard. He was trying to kill Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz, and you got the motherfucking New York Post still running along with this narrative that, like, because Tim Walz posted him up. Yeah, this is the fucking logo for a security company. Yeah, the security company that features him as the director of security patrols and what appears to be his wife as CEO specifically lists that they use police-type vehicles. It's notable that Facebook took down the leaked suspect's page immediately. Guy has a background in providing security services in Africa. His wife recently liked an event post for an alternative prom held for Christian homeschooled kids that started with a senior prayer blessing. And it's crazy that, like, Minnesota's Eric Prince, exactly, is being presented as a fucking left-wing lunatic by, I guess, New York Post. The vehicle shown on a news report looks similar to this, but it didn't have the logo. The emergency lights are orange, not blue-red. Pretty sure this guy with the full kit in the third photo is Vance. It's interesting. The training manager worked with the FBI previously. Todd, security training manager, brings many years of security experience and training management to our team. He's a retired undercover officer, having served our communities rigorously. He also has experience working alongside many government agencies, such as the FBI. That is the company's security management guy. I mean, this has the makings of a very weird situation. His name is part of a security company as well. What is this? Center of Evangelique Francophone Le Born Matadi. Unity in the body of Christ. Wait, who is this? Is this him? Doing Sunday servings? Sunday services? All the sermons of Vance Belter. If you want to know why a Democratic senator and a representative in Minnesota were shot, it might have something to do with the fact that their deaths would end the Democratic majorities in both chambers. That is crazy. I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Dude, this is some wild shit, man. I mean, there is a lot of weird oddity taking place here with the background of the suspect. If this is the suspect, because the police and the Associated Press is now revealing this information that he is the suspect, and the cops are right that he is the suspect, and it makes sense given all of the other information that we do know about the situation, having like a police cruiser having police gear. Because remember, these licensed security companies often work with cops and have the same license that cops have to get cop gear. Okay. I don't know how it is in the state of Minnesota, but he could have just like, but a guy who worked for oil companies in Congo, worked for food companies around the country, turning around and doing a targeted political assassination of Democrat lawmakers. I mean, this is definitely a very, very, very strange
update on the situation here in Minnesota. You're going to be joined by Commissioner Bob Jacobson, BCA Superintendent Drew Evans, State Patrol Colonel Christina Bogoyevich, Champlain Park Police Chief Snyder, and Brooklyn Park Police Chief.
Yeah, the cops also let him, like, they didn't let him go, but they apparently there was a shootout. There was a shootout. Gunshots were exchanged, and he was able to get away. Now there is a manhunt going around, and this is the background of the guy. Not just any Democrat lawmakers, but the few Democrat politicians who actually were willing to stand up and make changes. No, I mean, it's Minnesota. The Minnesota State Legislature is very famously, the Democrats in the Minnesota State Legislature are very famously a lot more radical, I guess, and a lot better for the entire state than the rest of the National Democratic Party. I have routinely talked about how awesome they are, using the narrow majority that they've had, the one-person majority that they've had in the state, to put forth a lot of good propositions that improved Minnesotan lives with regular frequency. Let's tune into CNN Live, see what they're covering. They'll have probably some better updates right now than Tim Walz's statement, I assume. But the search for the shooter is underway at this point.
People getting into the community, getting active, they would start at her house. I remember being in her house. We would go out into the community and knock on doors, hand out pamphlets. And so she was always embracing people as part of democracy and not being fearful. And then I'll tell you, as someone who's seen her in negotiating rooms at the Capitol, she had a backbone of steel. She was not afraid of anybody or anything. She was always interested in doing the right thing, but she was always interested in doing it the right way as well. And so she would be engaging the other side on important issues. And so I don't think fear was ever at the forefront of her mind.
It certainly looked like she was very focused on her path as a political leader from a very early start. As a graduate, you know, in her
It's been a pleasure watching you from Iran. Your content would always light up my day. Brother, don't talk like you're going to fucking die, all right? You're going to be safe. Just be safe.
Then
shelter.
Senators Al Gore, as well as John Kerry. It seems like, you know, this path of being in politics was something she always wanted to do. Talk to me about, you know, perhaps your admiration for, you know, her path, being steadfast and being an advocate for so much and for so many.
She's just an amazing spirit, an amazing human. You know, she ran actually the first couple of times and lost. You know, many people may have been dissuaded from politics. If you run, you lose. She was committed, so she kept running. And eventually she won a seat in the Minnesota House. And from there, it was obvious that she was a rising star in the caucus and that someday she would eventually be speaker. I just remember her ability. She was funny. She was so smart, kind, and she didn't take herself too seriously. You know, so many people get into politics to be somebody. That wasn't her. She was getting into politics to make a difference. And I think that her story, her trajectory, her rise to power in the Minnesota House is just evidence of her commitment to public service and making an impact.
Clearly, she made an impact in a lot of ways, not just politically. She was a wife. Now she and her husband killed in this overnight shooting, her husband, Mark, and they're parents of 2 children. What can you tell me, you know, about their family?
Super close family. I know she loves dogs. She loves her dog. They were close to a golf course. They're just a really tight-knit family. I remember being at their house, launching door knocks and talking to Mark. And she loved the Capitol. She loved that work, but it was very clear she loved her.
This is the shooter from that website that we were just looking at, the church website, Les Puissances de la Joie, the Francophone Evangelical, I guess, church. I think this is in the Congo, right, or something. This is him speaking at a Sunday service, one of the many Sunday services that he was a part of. But yeah, this is it. Yeah, all the sermons that he participated in. February 12th, 2023. Suspect. This is the suspect. Suspected shooter.
And they have sometimes a warm-up performer or a warm-up band before the big performance.
Généralement, ils ont le lever des rideaux et puis la star va venir après.
And I feel like I'm the warm-up band for McNay.
Non, moi je sens que je suis comme le lever des rideaux pour McNay. Moi je dis non. Pas du tout.
Can we pray one more time?
Mods, ban every single fucking dumb fuck in the chat that is most likely a federal agent themselves that try to be like, fuck this person. Like, they said nothing about Palestine. Like, this is very clearly a religious extremist right-wing terrorist that assassinated left-wing politicians, including wanted to attempt to assassinate Ilhan fucking Omar. And there are actual morons in the chat that are like, nah, dude, this guy's actually a radical lefty. It's like, dude, come on. Okay, suck my fucking dick. All right? Suck my fucking dick. Get your stupid ass, federal agent ass out of my fucking chat. Okay? Clap them. Clap them. He worked for a security company that did security in Gaza. They worked in fucking Gaza too. Where do you get this? He worked in the West Bank and Gaza. So many Twitter grifters trying to run with the lefty narrative. Yeah. And the deleted bio you just read. The evangelicals in the Congo, like the Amazon in Brazil, have been staging government control in the name of Pentecostalism and modern colonialism. Oh, I read it. Wait, it said Gaza? Where? I didn't see that. On the site you just closed. Oh, America, Middle East, including the West Bank, Southern Lebanon, and the Gaza Strip. Okay, this is makes sense. Got it. On the leadership bio. The far left is murderously violent. Elon Musk already running with the fucking narrative. Again. Look. You see this? You edited your post by saying left to far left. He went from the left is murderously violent, and now he's saying the far left is murderously violent. Again, this guy who runs one of the major social media platforms, the wealthiest fucking billionaire on the planet, is quite literally using the platform that he has and the opportunity he has to fucking do fake propaganda. I cannot begin to explain to you how dangerous this is. This is completely psychotic, and so many people are going to run with this narrative despite the fact that this dude, this fucking merc, had a hit list of who killed Democratic lawmakers. Merck, who runs a private security firm. Who killed Democratic lawmakers who You made it to Yeet Twitter? What? That's a perma. Like we're over here covering fucking real-time breaking news and going through the misinformation that's being spread by some of the most powerful people in the world. And you think I give a fuck about whatever some dumb fucking stalker has to say about shit? What are you, stupid? Some dumb fuck 17-year-old stalker online? Give me a break. I don't think they will run with it for long. Pretty fucking obvious. It's like, even for Republicans, I know. Thought you didn't cover breaking news? No, I don't. The only instance where I actually go through an unfolding situation is when there is reliable information that has come out, like a suspect's name from the police or from the Associated Press. And the only reason why I go through it is to do exactly what I'm doing right now, which is to parse through the misinformation landscape. Okay? Like, when events like this unfold, there are a lot of people that rush. There are a lot of people that rush to the internet and just fucking lie as quickly as possible. Because if you're first to market with a lie that doesn't even make any sense whatsoever, like you look at the situation, you're like, wait a minute. So you're saying this is a far leftist who worked with cops, who fucking shot like Democratic lawmakers and wanted to kill Ilhan Omar and shit? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense at all. But it doesn't matter because Republicans are very stupid. Okay. So this kind of misinformation runs rampant, especially on Twitter. So yeah, a part of my job is to go through this stuff and to identify the misinformation and try to stamp it out as quickly as possible in an effort not to let it catch fire. Where'd you get the info that he wanted to kill Ilhan? Ilhan Omar, Governor Tim Walz, and other Democrats were also on his hit list. This is from the police. This evangelical merc who runs a private security firm who killed Democratic lawmakers and had Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz on his hit list, according to the police. Is but that hasn't from lying on his own social. Dangerous. Who killed Democratic lawmakers and had Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz on his hit list, according to the police, is most likely not a left-wing size about that. Yeah. Has this been the craziest news week you've ever covered? Maybe. Apparently he's a director for the security service too. I know, chatter. We already covered that. I'd imagine this immediate narrative building will backfire pretty quick. A lot of normies are seeing this administration is increasingly violent, and this will 100% be seen as an attack on the left. Yes and no. So the reason why I say yes and no is because Elon will most likely delete this, by the way. He will most likely delete this. But he's done this before. He did this with the David DePipe assassination attempt. When he went after Nancy Pelosi's husband, Elon literally went with he was a gay lover narrative very quickly, and he posted like some random AI article to justify his ridiculous theory, right? And I think he's going to keep doing that. He's going to keep doing that, and he's just going to delete it eventually when people bully him enough. But this kind of stuff can be incredibly dangerous. One of the examples I'll give you is like all of the fake shit that ran rampant after the stabbing that took place in the UK. Like, remember, they literally tried to do pogroms against Muslims and immigrants in general. They tried to light a hotel where migrants were staying on fire. So there's that aspect of it. Like that, there's that aspect of the danger in terms of like quick misinformation, rapid fire misinformation. And the other side of the story is that a lot of people, once they get this kind of information from a position of authority like Elon, unfortunately, they do see Elon as a position of authority. He owns a social media company. He's the richest person on the planet. And there are plenty of people who love him. When they get this information, they just shut out all other information. They don't even see when Elon inevitably corrects himself or deletes the post, and they just run with that. It's over. Like, there will be tens of thousands of people that will see this, and they will see all of the right-wing sentiment that's being parroted online, and they'll just go, there it is. Once again, the far right being fucking violent again. Or, sorry, the far left. I said far right. They'll say, there it is. The far left is being violent again. Hell yeah. And then that's it. They will never actually learn the truth. They won't care about learning the truth. They will never learn the truth. They will just keep going with this false information. A man dressed up as a cop is going door to door in Minnesota shooting DFL politicians and their families with ICE, DHS, etc., wearing masks and not showing ID while kidnapping people. How are people supposed to act towards someone who approaches them claiming to be law enforcement? Is a great question as well. How are you supposed to know if you're being legitimately kidnapped or if the victim of a crime? How are you supposed to let someone detain or hurt? There's also some information from actual fucking ICE agents, I believe, that like tried to kidnap children as well. Like, there's so much of this is something that I try to explain to people all the time. When the law breaks down and when the law is behaving in a lawless manner, there's like enough opportunists who also take advantage of the situation and the instability. The social contract is ripped apart when people can no longer even have the shred of trust that they previously had for these institutions that are supposed to defend them, that are supposed to protect them and see them as a threat. It's over. Okay. A lot of governance relies on confidence. It's held together with ticker tape. The confidence that you know that you will be protected in a court of law. You know that you will have your day in court, for example. When the federal government says no more due process, all of a sudden that confidence goes away. And the more that confidence erodes, the more people say, I have to take matters into my own hands. I have to defend myself. And that causes chaos. That causes anarchy. That causes instability. This is the reason why the government is supposed to maintain at least some kind of institutional credibility. And Donald Trump eroding that right now is going to have very dangerous and very negative consequences in the short term, as well as certainly in the long term. Okay. How the fudge can you defend these far leftists and do a whataboutism? 2 innocent people lost their lives and you're oblivious to that? Wait, what? You're fucking joking, right? Far lefties? You think an evangelical pastor that worked security contracts in Africa that runs a fucking security agency that went and killed Democratic lawmakers is a far leftist violent assassin? That's what you are thinking. Like, a far leftist violent assassin is trying to kill Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz. That's incredible. There you go, chatters. You were wondering why this kind of misinformation is important to immediately stamp out before it is disseminated, and here it is. Here it is. This is a 2012 account, of course, as always. Running with this fucking idiotic narrative, following me for 6 fucking years, by the way. They're not very bright, I know, but because there's not, here's the problem. just saying that they're not very bright doesn't mean anything when the overwhelming majority of people are also not very bright. And there are a lot of opportunists out there who are at least a little bit smarter than these dumbasses are, who are taking advantage of their stupidity or are just as dumb but have major platforms and are just like spreading very quickly just complete misinformation. And it reaches their brain, and their brains are fucking cooked. Their brains are perma-fried, and that's it. That's all it takes. All it takes for a lot of these people is just like someone said something that corresponds to my own preconceived biases, and I'm going to fucking run with that misinfo. Yes, I know the suspect worked for the Minnesota government. I know. Tim Walz announced appointments to the governor's workforce development board. That's why they're saying this guy is a leftist, by the way, because Tim Walz appointed him, not realizing that these guys in the small business bureau, okay, or in positions like that, oftentimes are fucking right wing to far right, and they still get appointed to these positions. Like liberal Democratic Party appointments, especially for like Chamber of Commerce style positions, will always be like right wing. It doesn't matter. Obama appointed Tom Homan. Is Tom Homan a fucking leftist? Tom Homan, the current border czar. Is he a leftist? Are you guys stupid? Obama also got gave him Tom Homan receives 2015 Presidential Rank Award. Here it is. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Executive Associate Director of ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations, Thomas D. Homan, was one of 3 Department of Homeland Security career executives who received the 2015 Presidential Rank Award for Distinguished Service. Obama gave him an award. Is he a leftist? Is Obama a fucking leftist? You say that sarcastically, but right wingers are dumb enough to make that argument? I don't know. I don't think so, because they like Tom Homan and they hate Obama. This is my primary purpose, okay? When events like this unfold and people are rushing to disseminate misinformation in real time, my job is to go through the verified information that has been released and parse through the details and try to stamp out a lot of the fake narratives that obviously even people like fucking Elon Musk are presenting. Anyway, here, blast this out. They're already convinced he's a lefty. It's over. It's not. It's fucking ridiculous. He tried to kill Democratic congresspersons, man. Stop. Even the normie Republicans are obviously going to look at this and be like, I don't know if he was a leftist. I don't know what these guys are saying. Why didn't I see you on early? I'm confused. Was or wasn't he a lefty? No, he wasn't. Why the fuck are people saying he was a lefty? What are you guys saying? He wanted to fucking kill Ilhan Omar. Democrat far left, words have no meaning anymore for right wingers. Okay, but he killed Democrats, man. Ay, ay, ay. What a fucking crazy situation. They haven't caught him yet. They have not caught him yet. Yeah, this is where it's coming from. Face of a madman. Former appointee of Tim Walz sought in deadly shooting of Minnesota lawmaker. Her husband had no Kings flyers in car. New York Post came out and instantly tried to find anything they could to try to like loosely associate him with the fucking left. He wanted to kill Tim Walz, dude. Isn't that fucking insane? Like, how can you make this argument? Like, Tim Walz was one of his assassination targets. Yeah, reports the police are looking into extreme views on abortion as possible motive. And also on top of that, he killed Democrats, including wanting to kill on his hit list a bunch of other Minnesota Democrats, including but not limited to Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz. I don't understand how people are running along with this fucking psychotic narrative. I think this is incredibly dangerous misinformation, and getting ahead of it is very important, but I don't even know if there's any way to get ahead of it. Like, you can have someone be like, you can have someone literally be like, I'm a fascist and I'm here to kill the far left, which I assume are the loony radical leftist Democrats, and then successfully kill some people and get apprehended in the process of killing other people that he perceives as far left Democrats. And all it takes is for some dumb fucks to be like, nah, dog, he was Antifa, and everybody runs with it. Everybody runs with it. Go to the official Twitter feed about this, and all the top posts are right-wing lunatics suggesting the guy was a liberal assassin hired to execute a state rep for an uncontroversial vote, and that Mel knew she was in danger based on a TV interview she gave yesterday. Millions and millions of views, post after post, saying dead Democrats sounded terrified after voting for free healthcare from illegals. Voting to take free healthcare from illegals. What is the motive? It's like every fucking day there is another right-wing lunatic that goes out and like kills someone, okay? And then every other right-wing lunatic that has the exact same politics of the shooter will go online and talk about how this person was a communist. Look at this. Holy crap. Representative Melissa Hortman sounded absolutely terrified while speaking to the media after she voted no on healthcare for illegals. She was just assassinated this morning. She knew she'd end up as a target in one form or another. Charlie Kirk, chilling.
Hurt by that vote. And we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
Stop spreading misinformation. Hoffman did not vote for ending healthcare for undocumented immigrants. Dude, what are you talking about? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm showing you the prominent narratives that are circulating right now online. The reason why I show misinformation is to stop it from spreading, so that the 54,000 people in here, when they encounter this misinformation in the wild, when your fucking parents present this to you as though it's like what the reality is, you are well equipped to turn back around and say, hey, I don't think this is correct. Do you understand?
I know.
That is the purpose. That is my job. I suspect that this wasn't like this is a budget bill, and part of that budget bill that they worked on, I assume, was to deny, was not to expand healthcare to undocumented migrants in the state, right? That's probably what they're talking about. I don't know the exact details, but immediately through critical thinking, fuck you, lobbyist scumbag. What are you guys talking about? What do you mean lobbyist, piece of shit? Fuck you, lobbyist, piece of shit. What? I cannot believe that it's like some of the replies to your tweets are unhinged. Violence is a tool of the left. It's never been condoned or encouraged by the right. Yes, it happens. Crazy and evil are everywhere, but the only one side speaks about nonsense and people must be stopped at all costs. Only one side condones rioting and bailing out rioters. What the fuck are you talking about? This is a right-wing guy who did a fucking political assassination. She is quite literally talking about how she's upset that in the budget bill that had to be passed, that one of the concessions was denying healthcare coverage or denying an expansion of healthcare to undocumented migrants. And they're making it seem as though she actually voted against like giving healthcare to undocumented migrants deliberately, directly, and she was terrified. Fuck. My alerts are busted again. I hate this. I hate this so much. I don't know why it keeps happening. I'm so annoyed. Okay. No, the bill cut out funding for undocumented immigrants. We were forced to cut it out. That's what I'm saying. That was my speculation. Please delete your donation OBS scenes. That's why it's happening. What are you talking about? I know why it's happening. One of my alerts is broken. And when that alert plays, the OBS donations get busted. Like the OBS alerts get busted for a while. Because the gray bars are on. The gray bars are both on the gifted alerts that I have, which is separate up top, and the immediate alert that is like right here. Right there. Okay, when someone subscribes, there is like one alert that just like bricks it for a little bit, and then it's fixed later. On-cast streamer, by the way, 10-year streamer. Wait, let me see. Maybe this will fix it. No, it didn't fix it. Okay, well. Bring back banner W. Yeah, also, there's information on the Iran side as well. The Iranian state television announced that Iran will launch devastating strikes on Israel in the next few hours, according to Al Jazeera. So there's that as well. Jesus Christ. Ay, dude. It's craziness all around. Guess who's currently blaming Tim Walz for the escalating violence, by the way? I don't know. But if you say fucking Asmongold, I'm going to lose my mind.
Bruley, as well as the mayor of Brooklyn Park.
I don't care what he has to say. Please stop bringing this dumb fuck up, okay?
Has unfolded in
like, I'm sorry, but if you get your information from that fucking douchebag who doesn't know anything, you're just as stupid. If you're watching him to hate watch, then you're just as stupid, okay? Please stop bringing this dumb fuck up. Yes, he is also a super spreader of misinformation. Please.
Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark were shot and killed early this morning in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination. Our state lost a great leader, and I lost a dearest of friends. Speaker Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant.
All right, we're gonna skip Waltz's statements and go to the law
to the communities,
law
the
enforcement.
family, the friends, and everybody that cared about the individuals that were
Bro,
gunned
even
down,
Fox News won't spread.
today.
The thing is, I don't even think Fox
we have
News will
individuals
spread
like this in our
misinfo on this
political
issue.
leadership,
Like
not
that's the
only
other
political
thing.
leaders,
Like
but they're members of
the
community, well-known members of
online
community,
the online
that
sphere
the tragedy in a
is
situation
way
like this is not
more
only for them, they're for
way
the
more
community,
invested in
but
spreading
collectively,
dangerous
they represent
misinformation.
the state of Minnesota as a whole. About 2
Like
a.m.
even
this
Fox
morning,
News
there was an
will
call in the
be,
city of Champlin.
even Fox News
There was
tries,
an
at least with the
individual
regular
that
daily
was
broadcast
shot
programming and not the
Sunday.
editorial side. But even fucking Fox News is going to literally explain exactly what took place and won't entertain like psychotic fucking conspiracies like Elon does.
That another call came in when it was officers proactively checking because they knew of the incident that occurred, and they were going to check on Speaker Hortman at that time, at which time Brooklyn Park police officers encountered the individual who immediately fired at them, and they exchanged gunfire, and then the individual was able to escape during that exchange of gunfire. At the residence in Champlin, there was life-saving measures that were provided there. Both individuals were transported, as was previously noted, and they both received surgeries for their injuries at the hospital. And their conditions are at this time, both those individuals, Senator Hoffman and his wife, are both alive at this time, but they suffered gunshot wounds and are obviously in a difficult situation. But we're cautiously optimistic that they will continue to improve. At this time, it is a very active scene still, as you've seen. The Brooklyn Park Police Department, along with other members, the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, State Patrol, FBI, BC, and many others are actively engaged in a manhunt for the individual that we believe is responsible for this. And so we'll be sharing that identity with those individuals as this progresses, but I'm going to caution you, I know there's going to be a ton of interest in this. We're not at the position we can do that as we're actively searching for that individual. Right now, just as noted, we have teams. Hennepin County Sheriff's Office in Champlin are working at the scene there that occurred there. And then we are also, as we're stabilizing this between Brooklyn Park, working on the homicide investigation with Brooklyn Park Police, the BCA, FBI is assisting there as well, and we'll be conducting a crime scene investigation there. And then the individuals that were killed will be doing autopsies of those individuals to determine the extent of their injuries and how they passed away. But it was from gunshot wounds. At this time, I will answer questions after Commissioner of Public Safety Bob Jacobson speaks, but we'll be happy to take a few questions.
Thank you, Superintendent Evans. My name is Bob Jacobson. It's my honor to serve as the Commissioner of Public Safety for the state of Minnesota. This is a dark day today for Minnesota and for democracy, but we will not allow fear or violence to define who we are or how we move forward. We will stand together and we will stand strong. Our hearts, of course, go out to the victims, their families, their colleagues at the Capitol, and to the communities that they serve with dedication and with integrity. These are public servants, leaders who committed their lives to improving the lives of others, and they were targeted in a violent and cowardly way.
Oh, here,
Suspect
CNN's
expected
talking
in
about
the
the
process,
suspect.
right?
Yeah. All right, John Miller, we'll leave it there for now. We'll talk again with you on this. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Right as we were fucking getting somewhere.
Of our uniforms, that our uniforms are meant to represent.
Yeah.
That
There you
betrayal
go.
is
By the way,
deeply
also, as I fucking called it, Minnesota government may have planned to target No Kings protest, police say. Organizers of the protest said all of the planned events in the state were canceled after recommendation from Governor Tim Walz. As I told you, the only reason why The only reason why they would even want to even have those like flyers is most likely to target the fucking protest, not to actually participate in them. There is no rewind on the live CNN broadcast. What are you talking about? This is like TV rip. These ad breaks, and I can't even subscribe with Prime to avoid them. Yeah, there are no ad breaks on the Hasan Ivy broadcast. This broadcast is brought to you. The Piker Broadcasting Service is brought to you ad-free by viewers for you, the viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, your contributions in the form of a subscription, that is $6 a month, or a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime, is all that it takes. Piker Broadcasting Service is sponsored by you, the viewers, PBS. For you, the viewers, your subscriptions maintain my editorial independence. They weren't even flyers. It was just a stack of paper with no kings written on them. Seemed like he'd throw it out while doing a car attack. I know. But it also makes it extra strange. It makes it extra strange. It makes it feel like it's like psyop coded, if that makes sense. Like there is a flavor of psyop associated with this. But people are still participating in this. Despite warnings from law enforcement not to attend today's No Kings rally after this morning's shooting of Minnesota lawmakers with a killer on the loose, No Kings rally is happening at the Minnesota State Capitol in St. Paul, which is crazy. Republicans are saying that the dude was a lib because Walz appointed him. I know. Tucker Carlson Network fan account. Alleged No King shooter is a Tim Walz appointee. Vance Luter Belter. This is all it takes for these motherfuckers. That's all it takes. He was trying to kill Tim Walz. The guy was literally trying to kill Tim Walz. And the fucking Republicans are running with this idiotic narrative, dude. I'm losing my mind. At this point, it doesn't even take a psyop. Republicans have basically lost their minds collectively. It is a group of people that are constantly experiencing collective psychosis. And for this group of people consistently hallucinating an alternative reality, it doesn't take much for them to believe stuff. They just make stuff up on their own and then believe it. And it's interesting because I think in previous circumstances, they probably would have said this guy is a psyop from the federal government. Look at his background. Like, his background is clearly Fed coded. Like, this is probably the government, like some rogue FBI woke agent that like set up these assassinations to like criminalize right-wing politics under our brave, beautiful Trump administration. But now they're not even doing that. They're not even entertaining it. They're just literally refusing to reckon with the reality.
He probably put some thought into a backup plan of how do I get away. But without his vehicle, he's going to be on foot unless he's stolen another car, carjacked somebody. And again, that's only
because Republicans are in charge.
If the person
but Matt, right-wing fucking white nationalist mass shootings took place when Republicans were in charge. As a matter of fact, it escalated quite a bit. And Republicans would still say rogue FBI, rogue and woke FBI is trying to undermine the president. 2015, 2016, right-wingers would probably say this is probably a federal operation from some rogue elements within the deep state that's trying to take out our president, trying to make the right wing look crazy and unstable and violent. 2025 right-wingers just basically fantasize about an entirely separate form of reality. Also, I don't know if this is new, the 3 dead in Israel after Iranian strikes, or is it from yesterday's strikes? Like, I'm saying that even that previous consideration is insane, right? Even that previous consideration would be wrong. But it is extra crazy that these guys have devolved into something that doesn't even require any information, and they can stare at information that directly contradicts their hallucinations, look at it dead in the eye, and still go along with, I don't believe it. I think this guy is a loony leftist. Dude, my stepmom literally is saying Newsom deployed the National Guard. You are 1,000% right. Oh, my Lord. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. Like, this is incredible. This is a incredibly insane media landscape and misinformation environment that we're in. Yes, I saw the guy's bio. We already covered it. But yeah, he has worked all around the world as a fucking security contractor. It does not make any sense. What is this? Anadolu agency says Iranian Navy intercepts British destroyer that entered northern Indian Ocean to help guide Israeli missiles towards Iran, according to state-run news agency IRNA. Oh my Lord. Anadolu Agence is basically the AP associate, the AP affiliate for Turkey. So this is credible information. It's still developing, so I don't know. Tow the way. Faux police squad believed to be part of overnight political assassination at Home of Speaker Hortman has been processed, seen, and now removed. Massive manhunt continues. Let's see what the car looked like, by the way. I want to see. Oh yeah, it's the okay. This is quite literally the Praetorian Guard private security vehicle for sure. They're saying it looks like a cop car because it has it's basically the Praetorian Guard security. No. This is the exact same car as the squad cars that they have. It's the exact same squad cars that they have for their security patrols. We just looked at it before. It is identical to a cop car. It is identical to a police cruiser. I suspect that those lights are orange instead of the blue and red. It's got a ram bar, dude. Yes. These guys, look at me. Do you see this? The only difference between this Praetorian Guard, this is the company that he is a part of. This is the company that this is his wife, who's the president and CEO. This is Vance, who's the director of security patrols. This is the alleged shooter. This is the suspect, right? Okay. Walk with me here. Here is their vehicle. The only difference between this and that one is that this doesn't have the wrap. That's it. He just took off the wrap or never put on the wrap on that one car. Oh, the metal texture in the text livery is photoshopped on it? Oh, okay. No lights, but obviously old photo. No, the lights that this one has are probably also orange lights as well. I don't know if this had a fake police plate on it too, but Iraq requested Iran not to strike U.S. bases in Iraq. Iran said they understood the request. A lot of these guys, remember, security groups like this have almost the identical licenses that cops have, okay? They will often buy auctioned, old, decommissioned police gear, or they literally have police gear from the off-duty cops that they hire, okay? Like, private security of this sort is oftentimes deeply entangled with existing law enforcement, active law enforcement. And you can still purchase the red and blue lights. I don't know if these are red and blue lights. I can't tell, obviously, because the lights are not on. You can still purchase red and blue lights. It's just illegal to have it on your car. But if you're one of those like private security guys, you might have been able to get away with it. You might have been able to get away with it for a while because, you know, you're buddy with all the cops. We have a ton of these fake cop security services around Minneapolis. It's hella confusing who the actual cops are. Yeah. New. Texas authorities have issued an alert saying there's a credible threat towards state legislators attending today's protest at the state capitol. That comes just hours after an assassination in Minnesota and the cancellation of all No Kings protests in the state. Small-faced McDumbfuck running with the narrative that he was a lefty. We've now had a decade of hysterics about fascism and Nazis in America, with the press calling ordinary border enforcement and policing things like ethnic cleansing, white supremacy, and even genocide. In Trump's first term, it led to the congressional baseball shooting targeted at Steve Scalise. This time around, we have Luigi Mangione, and now today's diabolical attack in Minnesota, allegedly by Vance Luther Belter. There are far too many mentally unstable and suggestible people on the left for them to try to recklessly turn up the political temperature every time they lose an election. It is actually kind of alarming that even Charlie Kirk is running with this narrative, especially fucking considering that the targeted assassinations were Democratic lawmakers. Also, Luigi Mangione was under the Biden administration, so I don't know why he brought Luigi Mangione up as well. Luigi Mangione himself was not a leftist either. This is truly shocking, because like Charlie Kirk is the independent media guy, but even he traffics in conspiracies with regular frequency, but he still goes on Fox News and shit. He is direct access. He has direct access to Donald Trump. This report says his list of targets included abortion providers. How can people say this is a leftist? Yeah, Minnesota lawmaker shooting suspect had manifesto with list of name, police say, and the manifesto was targeting Democratic lawmakers, including Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz were a part of the assassination targets. He just got caught because he killed the first Democratic lawmaker and their partner, and then cops were sent to a bunch of Democratic Party lawmakers that are at the state level, and they literally in the process of going to the next house, they caught him there. There was a shootout, and now he's running around. Banwatch, you said the M word. It doesn't matter. This is not the actual manifesto. Guys, the fucking notion that this person is a left-winger is psychotic. Okay? This is insane.
Unfolded in Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa and her husband, Mark, were...
Like, can you imagine being Tim Walz right now? You're the fucking governor of Minnesota. Your friends just got assassinated. The assassin is out and about, and you're a part of his targets. You're literally a priority target, and you have the entirety of fucking right-wing media being like, yeah, this guy loved Tim Walz, actually. He loved Tim Walz. Tim Walz probably contracted him because he's a loony leftist. Like, what a fucking insane world that we live in now, dude. Like, this is not about politics, okay? Yes, you can say, Hasan, you're a biased political actor or whatever the fuck, right? Having said that, my commentary on this has nothing to do with politics and everything to do with just the truth, okay? I'm not covering this from the perspective of my political biases. I'm covering this just on what the facts we know so far and what these common narratives look like online and how fucking nutty they have gotten. Assassination implies killed. You saying that is slightly confusing in that regard. Wait, what? Yes. Yes. He assassinated a Democratic congressperson, a Democratic Party congressperson. He did. The other couple, he wounded. The former Speaker of the House for Minnesota was shot and killed. 2 people are dead. 2 people are wounded. Like, this is not even, or not a state legislator, sorry, not a congressperson. I apologize. That is, I mean, you're right. I said that wrong. The photo of the police license plate and the lights were, yeah, okay, see, I told you. The lights are orange and white. Like, this is the security. And I guess the what does this say? Oh, it just says police. This is happening in real time. Oh my God. What is this?
You know them doors weren't locked, right? Why in the hell did I receive a draft letter? Them doors don't even open that way. You could have opened them normally.
Dude, what the fuck are you guys sending me? Spouses, he killed the woman's husband and shot the man's wife. It's disgusting. Yeah. I don't know what this sticker is. I don't know what this... I mean, this isn't like an exceptionally sophisticated operation is what I'm saying. Like, he just fucking put police in the license plate. Like, I don't know what this logo is. It's nothing I've seen so far from any of his like companies that he owns. Oh, those are bullet markings marked as evidence sticker. Maybe, I don't know. Looks like a hazard evidence sticker. Okay. Official police vehicles just say police on their plates in Minnesota. Wait, really? I did not know that. A lot of cop cars in Minnesota have license plates that just say police. What the fuck? That's so strange. That's weird as hell, man. Wait, let me look this up. What does it look like? Does it look like that? Minnesota police license plate. Oh, it's like this. That's weird. Yeah, this looks like a printout and not like an official police license plate. But it doesn't matter because it is easy enough. Like it's simple enough to fool someone who is not thinking about it. You know what I mean? I know that's they're going with this idiotic. They're going with this idiotic narrative. By the way, the reason why this is very stupid. Yeah, of course you are panicking. What? That's wild. Yeah, of course you are panicking. What do you mean? Why would I be fucking panicking? Oh, you're saying the victims in that situation are in a panic state or something? Is that what you mean? Anyway, the reason why I think it's idiotic to have police license plates specifically is because of this, because they're so easy to fabricate. Like, what are we doing? The media is complicit in this misinformation by drip feeding everyone bits of nothing. I don't think that that's the case. I think the media is, as always, as is the case with like information coming out, drip feeding accurate information to the best of their ability in real time, as opposed to running with fucking fake nonsense and making up their own goddamn minds. The media has a responsibility here. The media has a responsibility to ensure that the information presented is verified by law enforcement authorities. It's fucking crazy to act as though like these guys are supposed to run along with like made up shit. What are you talking about?
To him. But honestly, we've seen it, in ways, for instance, the Butler, Pennsylvania shooter.
Her house.
They're outside the house of the shooter.
President Trump.
Of the situation, and that was
We've
an interview
never really been
Tom
able
did
to
live on air with her
identify
this morning.
Kevin and Lindsay, it's Matt in the newsroom once again. I just something that's striking me as we look at this live feed.
Wait, there's movement in the
They're up
house?
over what we believe to be is Belter's family home. Is a family home. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed there near that outbuilding where that armored vehicle is, but there appears to be something like a tree house or a play house or something there in the backyard. We do know that Belter has several children. So this is a family home. He also, we believe, his wife also works at that security company. See the little treehouse, little play area, perhaps there by those trees, kind of just below where that SUV is. And so you have a situation where this is a family home. And like you said earlier, as we were speculating what's unfolding here, what we're seeing live is we just don't know if there's anybody here. Perhaps they're making announcements, to stay inside this home. We don't know who might be at this property or if there is no one there. But what is also striking me, as you've been observing here, is the extreme level of caution these law enforcement officials are exercising as they approach this home. Nobody even emerging from those armored vehicles yet to this point.
Right.
They've been there for, going on 15 minutes now.
That's right. Matt, stay with us. It's easy for you to keep your eye on this for us. We did just get information that there will be a 3 p.m. update from the governor. And again, we're through our reporting, we're finding out that the suspect, Belter, was on a board and was appointed to that board by Governor Walz, and before that by Governor Dayton. Not sure if they even knew each other personally or knew anything about each other, but it'll be interesting to hear from the governor in terms of Belter's past political affiliations.
I mean, he's a right-wing white dude. Immediately when they start talking about the background, when they're profiling the shooter, and they're like, he's a family man. That's how you know. That's how you know he's a right-wing guy. As soon as that's like, there's no better way to fucking identify a shooter's motives and a shooter's like political alignment than watching the fucking media coverage of it. Watching his haircut, media coverage. He's got a family home.
At the same time, on a LinkedIn page, he says, mostly looking to get back into the food business, listing that he's been the manager of a convenience store, worked for a couple of food chains. So he's a little bit professionally all over the map. On the security website, he claims to be an individual who has worked in security overseas in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, in the Middle East, worked with the U.S. military doing training, and yet he is allegedly the person who loaded up what appears to be a vehicle from the security company that looks like a law enforcement car with multiple weapons, a large amount of ammunition, and started targeting Democratic state legislators roughly in the area where he lives. The hit list that was found in the car includes approximately 70 different names, locations, the state legislature's members,
holy shit, that's
the
massive.
lieutenant governor, a number of providers of abortions, medical clinics, various pro-choice groups. So the question is, if he was on his second target when he ran into police, how many of these targets did he intend to keep hitting